The crowd in London expected another statement from Noah Lyles. The reigning Olympic champion arrived as the headline attraction, the athlete everyone came to watch. Before the gun even fired, the narrative already felt complete. Lyles was supposed to control the race from start to finish, deliver another smooth victory, and remind the sprinting world why he remains one of the most dangerous men over 100 meters. But sprinting has never respected predictions. The track only rewards execution, and on this night, execution belonged to Oblique Seville. The moment the gun sounded, Seville reacted instantly. His reaction time of 0.133 seconds immediately placed him into attack mode, while Lyles responded in 0.162. To casual fans, the difference seemed microscopic. 29 thousandths of a second barely registers in normal life. In elite sprinting, however, it can completely transform the shape of a race. Those tiny fractions determine posture, momentum, rhythm, and confidence before athletes even reach maximum velocity. By the first 10 meters, Seville already looked explosive and relaxed. His drive phase was clean, powerful, and controlled. Lyles, meanwhile, still appeared to be rising into position, trying to establish rhythm while the Jamaican had already built forward momentum. At 20 meters, the separation became visible. By 40 meters, the race no longer looked balanced. Seville was not simply ahead. He was dictating the entire tempo of the contest. That distinction matters because the 100 meters is not purely about top speed. Most fans focus on the finish line and the final times, but sprinting is really about how efficiently athletes build momentum. Once a sprinter gains an early advantage, the runner behind is forced into chase mode. Chasing changes everything mechanically. The shoulders tighten, stride timing becomes less natural, and relaxation begins disappearing. Sprinting rewards athletes who remain loose under pressure, and Seville looked completely comfortable from the opening steps. Lyles attempted to respond over the second half of the race. Around 60 meters, his upright mechanics began looking stronger, and his elite top-end speed remained obvious. Some split analysis even suggested he gained slightly during the closing meters. But by that stage, the damage had already been done. Seville had built enough insulation early to protect his lead. He crossed the line in 9.86 seconds, while Lyles finished in 10.00. In most sports, 1400ths may not sound dramatic. In world-class sprinting, it is a convincing margin. The fascinating part of the race was where it was won. Seville did not defeat Lyles because he reached a dramatically higher top speed. He won through reaction time, acceleration, and early positioning. His opening phase created leverage before both men even settled into upright sprinting. Once that leverage existed, the psychological balance of the race shifted immediately. London was also Lyles's first 100-meter race of the season. That detail matters more than many people realize. Lyles has traditionally followed a preparation strategy built around peaking later in the year rather than racing constantly during the early months. Historically, that philosophy has worked extremely well for him. Championships are what matter most, and he has repeatedly proven capable of reaching his highest level at exactly the right time. Still, sprinting is not only physical, it is neurological. Training develops strength, mechanics, and power output. But racing develops instinct. Competition sharpens reactions in ways practice sessions cannot fully reproduce. The nervous system behaves differently when thousands of fans are waiting for the gun. Adrenaline changes timing. Pressure alters perception. Athletes who race frequently often look smoother because their bodies become adapted to making automatic decisions under stress. Seville entered London carrying that competitive rhythm. Before facing Lyles, he had already produced multiple sub-10-second performances during the season. Every race reinforced his confidence and sharpened his reactions. His nervous system was already calibrated for competition intensity. Lyles entered with elite fitness, but less race-specific sharpness. That difference became obvious almost instantly. Seville looked aggressive yet natural, leaving the blocks. Lyles looked slightly reactive instead of fully assertive. At this level, even the smallest hesitation becomes magnified over the next several steps. A delayed reaction changes posture. Posture changes acceleration angles. Acceleration changes momentum. Momentum ultimately shapes the entire race before maximum velocity is ever reached. The weather conditions in London also played a subtle but important role. A mild headwind moved down the straightaway throughout the race. It was not strong enough to dominate the result, but it punished athletes still struggling through their acceleration phases. Seville encountered the resistance already upright and organized. Lyles met it while still attempting to build momentum. That timing difference mattered significantly. By halfway, the race already felt decided. Not because Lyles lacked speed, but because Seville had completely controlled the opening phase. In the 100 meters, control of the beginning often means control of everything. The reaction afterward was immediate across the sprinting world. Some fans called it the beginning of a new hierarchy in men's sprinting. Others dismissed it as a normal early-season defeat for a champion known for improving dramatically later in the year. The reality probably exists somewhere between those extremes. This was not a collapse from Lyles. Physically, he still looked dangerous. His closing mechanics remained smooth and efficient, and his top-end speed clearly remains among the best in the world. The problem was concentrated almost entirely in the first half of the race. That should encourage his supporters because acceleration rhythm and block execution are highly trainable areas. A few additional races could completely change the picture before the championship season arrives. If Lyles can sharpen his reaction time from 0.162 toward the mid-0.140 range, the entire dynamic changes. Suddenly, the early gap disappears and the race shifts toward maximum velocity, an area where he has historically dominated many rivals. Sprinting margins are incredibly fragile. One excellent start creates authority. One poor start destroys balance immediately. For Seville, however, the significance of this victory goes far beyond one fast time. For years, he was viewed as one of the most talented sprinters in the world, but inconsistency and injuries repeatedly interrupted his progress. There were moments when his potential was obvious, yet the biggest performances did not always arrive at the right moments. London felt different because he looked emotionally comfortable against one of the sport's biggest stars. Confidence changes sprinters dramatically. Once athletes truly believe they belong among champions, their movements often become freer and more aggressive. Relaxation improves naturally because doubt disappears. Seville now possesses proof that he can defeat the reigning Olympic champion in a direct battle. That psychological advantage could become extremely important later in the season. At the same time, great champions are defined by adaptation. Lyles has faced setbacks before. Earlier in his career, critics questioned whether he could ever dominate the 100 meters the same way he controlled the 200. He answered those doubts by becoming one of the sport's biggest names and eventually winning global titles. His history suggests that one defeat will not create panic. The key challenge now becomes adjustment without overcorrection. Sprinting punishes desperation. If Lyles becomes too aggressive trying to fix his start, tension could appear in his mechanics, or false starts could become a problem. The balance between urgency and relaxation is extremely delicate over 100 meters. Many analysts actually believe London may help him later in the year, because the race exposed clear technical priorities. The weaknesses were identifiable: reaction time, first step projection, and acceleration rhythm. Those areas can improve rapidly through repetition under competitive conditions. Sometimes a defeat early in the season becomes valuable because it forces athletes to sharpen details before championships arrive. The coming weeks will likely define the narrative of the sprint season. If Lyles adapts quickly and improves his opening phase, London may eventually be remembered as a useful warning rather than a turning point. If similar problems continue appearing, pressure surrounding his title defense will increase dramatically. That uncertainty is exactly what makes the 100 meters so captivating. Careers and reputations can shift in fractions of a second. One clean reaction creates momentum for an entire season. One small hesitation changes the conversation around the sport. Fans often focus only on final times, but races are usually decided long before athletes reach the finish line. London reminded everyone how brutally thin the margins truly are. The crowd arrived expecting another controlled performance from Noah Lyles. Instead, they witnessed a perfect example of sprinting's unpredictability. 29 thousandths of a second at the start triggered a chain reaction that lasted all the way down the straightaway. Seville controlled the beginning, stayed relaxed under pressure, and never allowed the Olympic champion to fully recover. In the 100 meters, that is often enough to decide everything. Sprinting does not care about reputations, predictions, or expectations. It rewards whoever executes best for 10 unforgettable seconds. On this night in London, execution belonged completely to Oblique Seville.